Is Anish Thomas and my advisor Nikolai V. Prietsev. We're from the Department of Mechanical and Materials Engineering at Wright State University, which is located in Dayton, Ohio. We would like to give a talk on molecular dynamics simulation study of a polymer droplet motion over an array of spherical nanoparticles. In the last couple of decades, there has been a remarkable progress in the field of nanofluidics, especially in the field of water repellent surfaces, superhydrophobic surfaces. What is superhydrophobic surface? A surface in which the contact angle is greater than 150 degree and the contact angle hysteresis is less than 5 degree. What is contact angle? The angle at a line where a liquid vapor interface is in contact with the solid surface. As you can see in image 1, the angle between the red dotted lines is generally termed as contact angle. What is contact angle hysteresis? If you see image 2, if a droplet is on a tilting plate, gives rise to two contact angle, namely advancing contact angle given as theta A and receding contact angle given as theta R. And the difference between them is generally termed as contact angle hysteresis. Examples of superhydrophobic includes the lotus leaf and rose petal. Let's understand why these surfaces are superhydrophobic. If you take a look at the SEM image here of both the lotus leaf and rose petal, you can see a pillared kind of a structure on them. So what happens is when the droplet is on the surface of the lotus leaf or rose petal, these pillared kind of structure keep them suspended over them, which gives them a superhydrophobic kind of a property. Applications of superhydrophobic surfaces include non-fouling surfaces, self-cleaning properties, anti-acing properties, drag reduction, stain-free clothing, oil-water separation, etc. We study the dynamic behavior of a partially wetting polymer droplet over a nanostructured interface. Wenzel and Casey Baxter-Street. The primary principle behind superhydrophobic surface is to introduce small-scale surface roughness. Like we saw in the previous examples, the reason why lotus leaf or rose petal were superhydrophobic is because of the surface roughness. So in our case, what we did was we introduced the surface roughness via an array of spherical nanoparticles, as you can see here. If you take a look at image B, you can see the water droplet remains suspended over the substrate. This is because of the air gaps that are trapped between the liquid droplet and the substrate and in between the spherical nanoparticles. So this kind of state is generally termed as Casey-Baxter state, and when the water droplet completely penetrates through the substrate, it's known as Wenzel state. Details of molecular dynamics simulations and parameter values. Molecular dynamics simulations were carried out using LAMMPS code developed at Sandia National Laboratories. The liquid droplet consists of 880,000 atoms, which is a really large system computationally. If you take a look on the right, the blue color curve or a blue color sphere that shows here is semicircular sphere shows the liquid droplet. The interaction between any two atoms is described using Leonard-Jones potential, and the expression is shown here. Liquid polymers are also connected to form short polymer chains via Feeney potential, and the expression for that expression is given here. Each sphere consists of 4,000 atoms. As you can see on your right, the black spheres, each of them consists of 4,000 atoms on the surface. The radius of each sphere is 17.8 sigma, where sigma is taken to be as 0.5 nanometers. The solid wall consists of 22,000 atoms. Here, the red solid wall that you can see here consists of 22,000 atoms with a dimension of 440 times 50 sigma. Also, we apply a force in the excitation, which is known as f of x, or seen as f of x in that figure here. Droplet shapes for various surface energy with no external forces. So here we see the droplet shape at different interaction energy or surface energy. So at a very low surface energy, you can see the droplet is close to being circular. As the surface energy increases, you can see figure D, where when surface energy is 0.6, the droplet is almost semicircular in nature. The apparent contact angle as a function of surface energy. This graph shows the apparent contact angle for droplet at different surface energy. So if you take a look at surface energy 0.2, when low surface energy, the droplet is almost circular and the contact angle is almost 160 degrees, really high. But as the surface energy increases, the apparent contact angle reduces. If you take a look at 0.6, surface energy of 0.6, you can see the contact angle is 120 degree. So we can conclude that the contact angle decreases monotonically as surface energy increases. Also, the polymer droplet is in a partially wetting state for surface energy less than or equal to 0.8 epsilon. The fitting procedure for droplet profile and apparent contact angle. So we know that the contact angle is basically the angle between the liquid vapor interface and the liquid solid interface. In order to get this interface, what we did was we divided the entire computational domain into thin narrow slices of thickness 1 sigma parallel and perpendicular to the solid wall. So just to give you a rough idea, this is how size of 1 sigma look like. So we made blocks of 1 sigma through the entire computational domain, and each block we computed the or calculated the density, and hence the density profile was obtained as shown in the orange spheres, as you can see here. To this density profile, we added a fourth order polynomial curve, as you can see the blue curve that is shown here. And then we took the first 10 points of the polynomial curve and drew a tangent in order to get the respective theta r and theta e. Droplet center of mass for indicated values of external force. So initially we know droplet is at equilibrium, and from time t is equal to 0 we apply force. So at very small values of forces, that is f of x less than or equal to 0.0002 epsilon by sigma, the droplet is initially displaced between the neighboring spheres but remains pinned during the interval of 50,000 tau. As you can see, there are only a couple of jumps showing that the droplet just jumps between two successive spheres, and that's about it, and then remains pinned to the sphere throughout the entire 50,000 tau time interval. At larger values of forces, say f of x is equal to 0.0003 epsilon by sigma. This is the most interesting case because in this case, the droplet has a continuous displacement motion and also temporary pinning motion. Hence, that's why we see a stepwise kind of a curve. As the force is increased on the droplet, let's say f of x is greater than 0.00004 epsilon by sigma, we can see the droplet is displays linearly during the time interval 50,000 tau. You can see the curve in green, purple, and black. The droplet, there's a smooth curve showing that the droplet is displaced linearly. Advancing in receding contact angles and the velocity of center of mass. In this graph, the blue curve represents advancing contact angle, the red curve represents receding contact angle, and the black curve represents velocity of center of mass. So the advancing contact angle reduces as the receding contact angle increases during transient motion along a sphere. That means when we can see whenever the advancing contact angle is low, that is here, and when receding contact angle is high. Also, at the same time, the velocity of the center of mass also is high, indicating successive displacement between spheres. But when the advancing contact angle is high and receding contact angle is low, and the center of mass velocity is low, shows that the pinning motion of a droplet. The center of mass velocity becomes negative during successive displacement. You can see in the first image here, sometimes the center of mass velocity goes below zero, indicating slight oscillating movement due to surface tension. The contact angle hysteresis, we know contact angle hysteresis theta a minus theta r, is maximum during pinning motion. And like I said, when theta a is high and theta r is low, that is when the droplet is pinned. And this is when the PC notice maximum contact angle hysteresis. And this is almost 45 degree. And when the successive displacement over the spheres, the contact angle hysteresis is almost zero, as you can notice here. For f of x 0.0004 epsilon by sigma, after initial jump, the droplet is steadily propelled with an average velocity of 0.014 sigma by tau. The maximum value of contact angle hysteresis remains same as f of x 0.0003 epsilon by sigma. Considering larger force, that is f of x is equal to 0.00006 epsilon by sigma, we see that average value of velocity increases to 0.023 sigma by tau. Also, the fluctuations in center of mass velocity and advancing contact angle is reduced significantly, but the oscillation amplitude of a theta r or receding contact angle is increased, which is comparable to the previous two cases. Attaching and detaching process of a droplet. This image shows how the droplet is attached and detached from one sphere. We know that force is applied in the x direction. Let's take a look at the green spheres, especially figure E, figure F, and figure G. Just notice the blue arrow that I marked here. So this shows the attaching process of droplet from the first green sphere to the second green sphere. Also, just take a look at images from A to G. You can see how the droplet remains suspended over the second green sphere for a very long time. Now taking a look at the orange spheres, this orange sphere shows the detachment process. If you take a look at figure F and figure G, which is represented by the red arrow here, shows how the droplet is detached from the first orange sphere and moves to the second orange sphere. So also, if you take a look at from image A to image G, you can see how long it takes the droplet just remains pinned over the first surface or the first orange sphere. In order to understand the attaching and detachment process of the droplet, we try to see the fluid monomers in contact with surface atoms of a spherical particle. So we take one spherical particle at a time, and then we see how the droplet moves over the entire surface. So initially, the number of monomers in contact with the spheres first increases rapidly. You can see when the droplet starts moving over the sphere, you can see there's a steady rise in the curve, which can be represented here in figure G and figure H. You can see on the second green sphere how the droplet occupies large surface area of the sphere within a short span of time. Hence, there's a steady rise in the curve. And then it reaches a quasi-plateau state. And this plateau level represents about half of the surface area in contact with the liquid droplet. After the plateau, there's a small decay or slow decay in the curve, which shows how the droplet detaches from one surface to another. This can be seen from figure A to figure G, how the droplet is pinned off from one, stayed pinned on the first orange sphere, and then takes a long time to get detached from that first orange sphere. In conclusion, for our simulation, the polymer droplet remains pinned at the surface of a nanoparticle at sufficiently small values of external force. Above the threshold force, the droplet moves intermittently along the interface via successive rapid displacements and periods of pinning. With increasing external force, the variation of advancing contact angle is reduced, whereas oscillation amplitude of the maximum contact angle hysteresis remains nearly unchanged. Thank you.